This video on air versus water cooling has 2 million views. It looks like crap. Time for an HD remake. And it's not just a pure sellout move to capitalize on an idea that we already know works, because a lot more has changed since that video than our production values around here. In particular, AMD's high performance, not to mention huge and hot, 180 watt Threadripper CPUs are pushing the limits of all types of cooling systems in ways that we have never seen before. So what's the ultimate cooler for the ultimate CPU? We have the answer. The white Dark Base Pro 900 from Be Quiet features a modular design to support a variety of layouts and configurations. Check it out at the link below. We'll be testing 6 coolers that on previous platforms have delivered comparable results: 3 air and 3 liquid. For water coolers, AMD helpfully provided an Asetek-compatible TR4 mount in the CPU box, so we're able to use our existing stable of compatible Corsair H-series AIOs, which is cool because that means so can you. We've got 120mm, 240mm, and 280mm radiator versions, with all of them featuring the same Asetek-designed CPU block and, in the H115i's case, a slightly more powerful pump. In a stroke of either luck or AMD foresight, the blocks are just big enough that even though the heat spreader sticks out, the heat-producing die area for Threadripper is covered. So, while these are mainly meant for more square CPUs, we have no reason to believe that you should worry about it. As for our air coolers, well, due to their wildly varying shapes and mounting mechanisms, not many of them have been retrofitted with support for socket TR4 yet, which is where Noctua's new lineup comes in. They're visually, and for the most part, functionally identical to their non-TR4 cousins, but when you turn them over, you are immediately greeted with plates big and shiny enough to host a fancy dinner party. This huge mount is common on each of them, right down to the 92mm NHU9, because Noctua decided to bake in support for AMD's on-socket mounting points. A good idea because, well, let's just say that taking this apart isn't a good idea. Now to testing. While our old standard def version of this video discussed performance with different custom fan configurations inside a case, our video today will focus on the temperature differences between the coolers themselves right out of the box. So it should then be noted that you could get slightly better performance out of these AIOs by adding more fans in a push-pull configuration, and the same can be said of the 2 tower coolers. Another trick up our sleeve this time around is that we're going to be running our Threadripper 1950X in both stock and overclocked configurations. Furthermore, this time we are in a climate-controlled 24 degrees Celsius environment, not my garage during the winter, so our results should be more comparable to what you can achieve at home. But enough talk! Let's do the results! Starting off then with our H80i GT and Noctua NHU9, we're seeing some pretty okay numbers for stock performance with similar load temperatures and package power. Overclocked, on the other hand, shows again similar numbers, but markedly lower package power for the H80i GT, meaning that it's throttling more to maintain that same 87 degrees. So in the lightweight category, air cooling comes away with a clear victory. The next step up is the NHU12S and H100i V2. And again, we see almost identical numbers between these guys at stock speeds. Looking now at the overclocking results, we've got a much narrower lead for the Noctua fan over the Corsair AIO as far as package power goes, meaning that they've throttled just about evenly. So we're gonna call this one a tie. Bringing us to the main event. The NH-U14S Weather versus the H-150i Brager. Both of them lasted all 12 rounds, maintaining maximum performance in both the stock and overclocked tests. And this is incredible, considering we've got all 16 cores pinned to 3.9 gigahertz. But this kind of a match isn't about pinning, and the Noctua ran a few degrees cooler, so we have to award it the win by technical knockout. Of course, performance is only part of the equation. Aesthetics and physical compatibility are key considerations as well. Water coolers do come with an additional mechanical point of failure, the pump, but they look sexy, and it's becoming more and more common for small form factor cases to have mounts for 120 or 240mm radiators, but not enough clearance for comparable air coolers. And it's also worth considering that large AIO coolers like the H115i are generally far easier to work around inside a chassis than a larger air cooler, especially where RAM slots are concerned. With that said, price is kind of a big deal too, and Noctua's solutions, even though they're not the cheapest air coolers out there, generally come out ahead of the water cooling equivalents by a significant margin here. So TLDR then, if you're not planning on overclocking Threadripper, it's actually a relatively easy beast to tame. But overclock it, and you'll need to set aside some budget for a beefy cooler. Also, if your priority is performance, you'll reach for an air cooler or custom water cooling. But water cooling is a great choice if a more compact, easy to work in, and subjectively better looking machine is what you're after. So then, as always, the answer is, it depends. If you haven't already, now's the time to try out Dollar Shave Club. It's more than just razors. Dollar Shave Club makes it easy for you to upgrade your shave and your bathroom. You don't even have to leave the house to get high quality shaving and grooming products. They deliver them right to your door. And for a limited time, Dollar Shave Club is basically giving away their shower shave starter to new members for only $5. This starter set features their executive razor and 3 trial size versions of their most popular products to help you stay fresh and clean everywhere. You get their shave butter, body wash, and One Wipe Charlie's butt wipes. You will also get the executive razor, which includes their premium weighty handle and a full cassette of cartridges. Then, after the first box, replacement cartridges are just a few bucks a month. So head over to dollarshaveclub.com/Linus to check it out. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked this video, you can hit that button. But if you liked it, hit the like button, get subscribed, maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured at the link in the video description. Also down there is a link to our community forum, which you should totally join, and our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one.